Taliban rule has had a devastating impact on Afghan women and girls. Afghan women and girls are facing both the collapse of their rights and dreams and risks of their basic survival. Taliban are dictating what women must wear, how they should travel, workplace segregation, and even what kind of cell phones women should have. They enforce these rules through intimidation and inspections. Recently, Afghan authorities are closing education centers and institutes supported by non-governmental groups in South. A report.
When the Taliban took back control of the country, there was brief hope they would allow more freedoms for women compared to their brutal, austere rule of the 1990s. But ever since they seized power in Afghanistan, the group has been clamping down women's rights by barring them access to education and public spaces. In the latest, Afghan authorities are closing education centers and institutes supported by non-governmental groups in the south. The centers are mostly for girls who are banned from going to school beyond 6th grade. The Education Ministry ordered the Taliban heartland provinces of Helmand and Kandahar to close education centers and institutes while a committee reviews their activities. It did not provide an explanation for the closures, and a ministry spokesman was not immediately available for comment.
The Afghan government's diktat to deny their women the right to education is absolutely absurd and shocking. It yet again reeks of the narrow mindset that the Taliban government has, and the reasons giving for denying the women the basic right of education is irrational and illogical. It is high time that the Taliban government realizes that subduing the aims and aspirations of its women will not lead the nation anywhere and will cause more discord and discontentment in their nation.
This incident comes just days after the Taliban banned Afghan women employees of the United Nations from working throughout the country. In response to the decision, the United Nations asked some 3,000 staff men and women to stay at home until May 5, while it made necessary consultations, made any required adjustments to its operations, and accelerated contingency planning. The United Nations has said that it is ready to take the heartbreaking decision to pull out of Afghanistan in May if it can't persuade the Taliban to let local women work for the organization.
Any negative consequences on this crisis for the Afghan people will be the responsibility of the de facto authorities. And just to confirm that we will maintain principled and constructive engagement with all possible levels of the Taliban de facto authorities as mandated by the Security Council.
The Taliban regime has failed to earn recognition from any UN member state because of their rigid and intransigent mode of governance, their inability to transform their mindset on issues such as women's freedom. Taliban government should understand that a country can't survive in the 21st century by pursuing a retrogressive and ultra-conservative approach. The eventual outcome of suppressing the freedom and creativity of women will be the erosion of Afghan society. Banning women's movements, curtailing all their freedom, health, and education will augment frustration and anger among the Afghan women. In turn, the wrong message will be delivered to the world that the Afghan people are socially backward and can never live a normal life.